everyone, and welcome to today's class. Today we have a very interesting energy because you may feel that you absolutely want something a certain way, and this can have something to do with certain situations, outcomes, or people. Or you have a person in your surrounding that you notice absolutely wants something and really is not open for anything else. And that's actually always the problem. When we're not open, when we're limited, we're limiting the universe and limiting ourselves. So trying to see things from a different perspective, or asking yourself if you want something a certain way, why this is so important to you, and what is really behind that, because there's always something behind that, and that's the interesting thing that helps you get to know yourself better, and also maybe change perspective if necessary. And of course, it can also help you with a certain person in your surrounding if there is someone who's acting this way. Yeah, this can be quite challenging, but finding out why this is so important normally is a game changer. So let's see what we can do for our physical energy field to help us. Yeah, I am still very much covered. I have a lovely unitard from Oisho and also this shirt, but I'm hiding it successfully because it's still so cold that some wool is needed to cover everything up. Anyway, here we go. Little toes in line with your hips. So muscle line, little fingers in line with your shoulders. Nose, sternum, navel, pubic bone in line. And then we have your sit bones together. Everything is long energy through your head. And here we go, starting with the reaffirmation of the upper arms. Make sure that your knees and elbows are relaxed. You're turning your palms to the front. Shoulder blades are parallel, and don't force anything. Yeah, so this is not the way. Relax your elbows, and if you can only turn until here, well, only, right? This is perfect, is enough. Whatever you can do is good enough, because this kind of workout is not for how you perform. It's about what you feel. If you feel what I'm trying to describe here, that's the success of the workout, not what it looks like. So, little fingers towards your thumbs, everything's long, ribs together, long, and just relax. Okay, one more time. Just turning here, little fingers towards the thumbs, everything's long, ribs together, everything's long, and relax. Okay, now towards the back, now thumbs towards the little fingers, everything's long, ribs together, lengthening. This is the other way around, so we're working ourselves, no, we are working around the upper arms. Okay, just relaxing, always three-dimensional, so everything is relaxed. One more time, thumbs toward the little fingers, lengthening, making sure that you really lengthen the upper body, and then you feel the strength in your center. And that's what it's about. So if you're worried that you're not working enough, this is what it's about. And relax, just relax. Okay, so we're going to the end of the mat. If you feel like you want to work this a little bit more, of course, you can always do it. Follow your intuition, not mine. Okay, at the end of the mat, same muscle coordination as described before. Now slowly relax. Slowly relax. Lower down. Of course, you're not expected to be able to do this. You can bend your knees, you can bend your elbows, put something underneath, books, yoga blocks, a little chair, all that's fine, right? So wherever you are, you're good. No need to, whatever. Okay, so from here, breathing in, on the out breath, sit bones to your head, lengthening. And again, breathing in. And again, sit bones, head lengthening. Okay, and again, breathing in. Yeah, I'm still here, not well supported. Still rolling a little bit. Just make sure that you are really feeling the ball of your big toe, little toe, and heel on the floor, right? Yeah, as you know, I still have a contraction in my hip, and this is what makes this roll a little bit. Okay, but thinking on the floor, not forcing it, because that's resistance and that's creating tension, and tension is contraction. Okay, so here we go again, breathing in, lengthening the back, and this time I'm looking at my middle finger, describing a big circle, lengthening here, and navel in and lengthening, lowering. So my arm is floating and just indicating the direction. And what I'm really doing is I'm just turning my upper body and lengthening and navel in, lengthening. Okay, and again, lengthening, looking at the middle finger, describing the biggest possible circle, and lengthening, lengthening, lowering, and again, lengthening, lengthening, up we go, and lengthen, lowering, lowering, and releasing, and just let the blood flow back. Yeah, and next up is, I sometimes think the guide's favorite, the stability exercise, which is for our lower back and hips, and it helps us not only on a physical level but also in our life to create the stability that we need. Whatever the circumstances outside, and I'm sure we all agree they are not very stable. Okay, so from here we start the same way. You don't have to be flexible. You're all good if you're here with whatever, right? And then it's about the upper leg, bend. You can of course also bend the other one, be wherever you need to be. Hips parallel to the floor. Make sure that the heel of your supporting leg is on the floor. This is important. And then you think your center line and two lines which are the sides of your body parallel to each other, and relax your knee. Now energy through the knee, through your head, and through the heel of your supporting leg. And feel if you can, through visualization, if you can make more space. No pushing. Okay, just relax. Energy down. No blood flowing down. Right. Okay, other leg. You change when you notice that your thoughts do not anymore make any difference that you can feel. So this is for how long you need to stay. And of course this can vary. You can need more time on one side than on the other, and that's all fine. So now we're repeating this, and you can either do it the same way, or you can just think longer and then you see what happens, right? So wherever it takes you, and what you also can do, I need to do that now with my contractions. I should probably not say it that often to not keep manifesting that. I have to do it a little bit more dynamic at the moment to just feel my way to where I am. Okay, lengthening. Okay, now other leg. Having the blood flow back. Now other leg. Bend, lengthening, lengthening, and then just see where we are. 3 parallel lines, your center line, 2 lines at the sides, And especially if there is any tension in your body, you may feel that your body wants to avoid certain movements. I have to do one more, they say. So lengthen, and then just feel, going slower, how you can, or how far you can go into the right direction. And if not anymore, that's the stop. Okay, now we just find out how our body is, just relaxing a little bit. Stretch, lengthen, feel if there's anything feeling weird, or any tension, any pain, whatever. Maybe you want to just give your legs a shake, and your arms, and that's always three-dimensional, so your shoulders are relaxed. And what you also can do is a Chinese exercise, which helps your lymphatic system, navel in and just out. Yeah. I don't know what the English name for that would be. My friend is German, and that's what she can tell me. Okay, so first, what's first? Come on, tell me. Okay. Rolling on the balls of our feet. So there's two possible variations, and if you are open for it, I would love you to try both variations. So the first one is on the underarms. So you've got your little fingers in line with your elbows and your heels, and what you do is you roll on the balls of your feet 3 times, and then the exercise is lengthening one leg and rolling. Keep rolling, lengthening, lengthening. Important thing is, if you continue, you don't have to do the rolling bit from the beginning again. You can straight go into that lifting your leg or lengthening. And that's what I mean. It's not holding, it's lengthening. See the difference? It's a slight thing, but it really helps you to maintain that position, because it's energy from your sit bone through your head, which is actually going this way and holding it, and then you are sending a little energy through one of your heels, and that keeps your leg wherever you want to have it in here. So, plank position, other variation. As I'm beginning or starting relaxing the elbows, I'm 3 times rolling here. And then I've got one leg going up. One leg, navel in. Right. Okay, so energy through one heel, energy through the upper body, and that's always the majority. If this is not enough, what you also can do, apart from doing some more, is you lengthen the leg, going back, slightly open, back into line, roll. Leg, go back, open, back into line, roll, leg down. Leg up, roll, open, close, roll, lower. Leg up, and open, and yeah. The important thing is to not just open, close, but always think lengthening, lengthening, and of course this always requires more lengthening from your upper body. Yeah. Okay. So again, relaxing the back, and they say that we're now doing the mermaid, something we do very often, or quite often lately. But it's like, I don't know. They have certain project they work on, and then they repeat certain exercises. So let me know if there's something you're working on, or if that resonates with you. Little fingers in line with the elbows, hips, and heels. And I'm now crossing the upper leg over and keeping my hand here to not arch my back, which easily happens if you put your hand further backwards, right? Okay, so from here, breathing in, and now you've got 2 options. You can either sit bones head, that's always what we do. You can either do it on your knees or on the entire body, and just relax, breathing in and lengthening up, energy through, and lower. Okay, one more time. I always like to do 3. Of course, you do what resonates with you. Lengthening, center, not holding, it's lengthen. I'm sure you can see the difference. Then there's not that much weight on your arm. So now, with a long arm, make sure that your fingers point into this direction, because otherwise, while we're relaxed, we would affect the shoulder joint, which we don't want. Now, breathing in, on the out breath, you're here or here. Lengthening, not hanging in there. Okay. As before, I like to do 3, and lengthening, up, and relaxing. Now, breathing in, and lengthening, up. And I always like to do a little balance. That's always a little interesting to see. Okay, are we sliding, lengthening? Yes, now. And in. Okay, because it's really very much to see from the center, it goes out into every direction, yeah? And of course, you don't need to be able to do that, but if you like to try and just start lengthening and lifting your leg a little bit, and to see whether your center, or how it responds, how much the energy you need to send. Okay, other side. The little finger in line with your elbow, hips, heels, and just cross over. Now from here, breathing in, on the out breath, lengthening, or here, yes. You always have your options, and releasing. Breathing in, and on the out breath, lengthening, and lowering. And breathing in, and lengthening, and release. Okay, and now from here, sit bird's head, breathing in, and up, and lengthening. Here we go. And lower. And breathing in. On the out breath, lengthening. Up. And releasing. One more time. On the out breath, lengthening here. And yeah, let's see. Okay, there is the contraction, but let's see what we can do. Yeah, this is actually so much easier than the other side. And don't be surprised, that's normal, yeah? We are not symmetrical. Relax your back. Just relax your back. Okay. And if your body does something funny, just allow it to do that, yeah? Okay, so, tell me what's next. Okay. You stay here, if I say. They show me different exercises. Okay, can you please tell me what's first? Right, okay, thank you. Little toes in line with the hips and muscle line. And now I've got my hands behind my head, because we start with the technique for the abdominals. So, sit bone's head, lengthening, navel in. So it's the longest possible circle hand coming up, and also the longest possible circle here. So I'm not necessarily up as much as I could, right? In the circular movement, yes, but lengthening, I could actually go up like this, but then I would not be working as much. So lengthen and lengthen, and that creates a different feeling, yes? You notice how you work differently. Okay, breathing in, little from here again, sit bones, lengthening, everything's coming up long. Okay, so now what? Get your legs up to 90, okay? Energy through the heels, and therefore it's a slight flex. So it's hip wide open in my case, and then energy through the heels. If your upper thighs are wider than your hips, then that's from where you take your measure, right? Okay, so just relax, and we just do that again, they say. Okay, so here we go. sit bones head, lengthening biggest possible circle, 90 degrees angle, navel in. Make sure your navel's in. If it comes out, actually before, that's where you take a little break and relax. Okay, so now we go up to 90 with the legs, they say. Okay, breathing in. Sit bones to your head, lengthening. And up. You don't have to be able to stretch your legs, yes? Sit bones heel in one line is this, or this, or this, right? So it's all the same thing, no problem. Okay, so if you can, we just do this once. The next time, now that we're repeating it, breathing in, you can actually release your arms, and that's a very interesting thing. Lengthening. You put your arms to the front, and now make sure that your palms are facing upwards. Your elbows are relaxed. Let the energy flow through your fingertips and navel in, and relax. Okay, we'll repeat this. There are certain variations. Just from there, so take your hands behind your head again, breathing in. Sit bones head, think the biggest possible circle to come up. Legs up to 90. Whatever that is for you, right, in that line. Could be well bent, no problem, palms up. And now from here, you think of lengthening and coming up a little bit. Think there is like water behind you, and you're getting it with the palms of your hand, your hand. But it's very, very small, that movement, because your navel needs to be in. Lengthening, 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 and relaxing. Okay, now just notice a little tension here. So whenever you notice something, just massage on that point a little bit. We have a lot of tension in our jaws, normally, because of all this computer, online, well, mobile, yeah, we know it. Sit bones head, lengthening, coming up. Okay, one more time, going up to 90, and just release your arms, and just think of getting the water up, 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 up. And you can even take them a little higher, and lengthen and lowering. And now, you can also try that, palms facing each other, and then coming up. And then you may notice that you can come up a little higher without affecting your shoulders. Yeah, like this. As soon as there is any tension, game over. It's always lengthening the upper body, thinking of the fountain. Yeah, the fountain is ongoing throughout anything we do. Okay, so now we're lengthening the legs in this position, they say. Okay, they want two variations, okay? Sit bones head, coming up, here we go. First one is lengthening in this position. So the longest would be sit bone heel, and of course hip or muscle line, little toe. But if your navel does not stay in, the exercise is over where it comes and wants to come up. So if that's here, fine, you go back. And back doesn't mean back in, it means energy out of the knee while taking your leg in. Okay, so it doesn't come into your hip, there's still some space here. Okay, now I do 8, and you do whatever resonates with you. At the end, I'm always going a little slower to make sure that my knee is well protected. So lengthening, and lengthening, and lengthening, and lengthening, and I think we have 2 more. Lengthening, and lengthening. Okay, now, slightly turning, or taking a break and doing it then. Slightly turning towards the knee, very slightly, and then you notice that you also use the diagonal abs very well. Navel is in, not out. Okay, lengthening, 2 more. And lengthening. And relaxing. Okay. Now relaxing your back, they say. So here we go. You do whatever you need. You know, this is my favorite, head down. So I always go for this. You could also grab your ankles by the way, and then you massage a little bit more up your upper back, while here you massage your lower back. Okay, so they want 1 more exercise in this position, so yes, they will get it. Okay, so from here, okay, hands behind your head, sit bones head, lengthening, navel in, and up. Okay, so wherever you are, remember this is also absolutely perfect, right? So from here, you lengthen your leg and you lower it. And if you're unsure when or at what point your navel will just come out, you just start slowly, because the important thing is it's not going down, up. It's always a part of a circle. So the lowest point, and I just go to the lowest point, which would be then sit bone heel, means you're lengthening here and you're lengthening your leg when coming together. And that's actually the interesting part. Okay, so here we go. I have to do 8, and you go for what resonates with you. If you can see your legs and they can be bent, make sure that your little toes are in line with your hips or muscle line, and then coming back into the center line. Lengthening, and coming back, and lengthening. Actually, the 90 degrees is the reference, but you can also open both slightly, actually, and up, and lengthen, and again, and you can also slightly help yourself a little bit. Just make sure you don't exaggerate. If you need more flexibility, like professionally, I do some more now, then this could be helpful, right? But only then. If you don't need that, make sure that the fountain is still ongoing and lengthening. And relaxing, and relaxing. Okay. Good. Now relaxing the back again. Okay, here we go. And what else? Yeah, they have shown me that before and we were meant to do it. So next thing is bridges. So we also start with the little toes in line with the hips or muscle line, center line, 2 sides of your body parallel to that, also your arms. And make sure that the energy flows through your fingertips, toe tips, and head. And always, as we had before, the fountain is the strongest energy. So from here, roll coming up into a bridge. Lengthening is like lengthening your butt into your knees, and also doing that at the front with the front sides. And then you can visualize the energy out of your knees, which will then stretch you more. Front thighs as well as underneath. So lengthening, and make sure that your hips are parallel to the ceiling. Okay, coming up, this is for the 3rd time. Now we've got several variations for the legs, and it's like building up so that you can always go back to the variation we did before. So the first thing is lengthening one leg, whatever you can, sit bone heel, yeah, that's always the reference, and whatever it looks like. Now, lengthening the front, slightly flexing, meaning lengthening the back, front, lowering the leg, and lower. Only do this if you can maintain the position doesn't mean holding. It means having the fountain working, yes, and energy through the knee. And then this should actually hold itself up, right? Balance is not holding. Balance is happening as physics tells us, energies into different directions, and you only have to find out how much energy in which direction. That's the interesting point. Okay, so the leg goes up, second variation, energy through the heel. Remember, you can also go back to the first one. Now lowering your leg until you reach the upper thigh, the other leg. Bend your knee in and relax. Bend your leg, sorry. Now breathing in and coming up, and start with your left leg up, energy through your heel again. Now lower the leg, parallel to the other thigh, bend in and lower. Okay, breathe in, and on the out breath, coming up. Now here's the third variation. Of course, you could, if you are a newbie, take it easy and take some breaks, it's all good. Navel in, lengthen. Now lower the leg onto, just have the other leg in line. Now lengthening, coming up, navel in, and bend in and lower. And breathing in, and coming up, and lengthen, and energy through the heel, and lowering, and lengthening up, and lower, and lower onto the floor. Okay, now just relax, and let's see what they say. Where we are, just relax. No, they say we are good. So you only do what you need to finish the class. My body does again weird things, but remember, I'm not cutting this, editing this out, because if it feels good, that's what it needs. Okay, thank you very, very much for your participation in today's class. And if this channel supports you, please support it by subscribing. And if you like more from the guides, they've got weekly energy updates for you on YouTube, Heike, and there's a daily dose on Instagram at Heike. So let's spread the love and rebuild this planet with love, compassion, peace, and what else do we need? Unity. Lots and lots of love, and I see you for the next workout.